Namo Om Vishnu Padhaya Krishna Vistaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Vachalini Nivasesha Shunyavadi Pashtatara Satanane Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Excuse me. Okay, so let's share the Brhat Bhagavatamrta. I had it ready to go. So here it is, Brhat Bhagavatamrta. And we are beginning on text 195 today. Just before we open up, I just went back a couple of verses. And interesting, well, the whole of the Brhat Bhagavatamrta is interesting. But specifically last week we was reading about the hierarchy, as it's said here, the so-called hierarchy amongst devotees. Yep. That from one perspective, from an objective perspective, there may seem to be a hierarchy. So that means that there's one above the other. But the feelings of the devotees themselves, no matter where they are in regards to service to Krishna, they all feel completely complete and completely happy and completely blissful. So they don't have the idea or vision that I have to gain this position, I have to gain that position. Yeah. They are situated in their what's called Stehi Bhav, in their original relationship with Krishna. So there's no consideration of being in a different position. So in that sense, there is no hierarchy. Yeah, it says here it's only imagined. Yeah, so that's where we left off last week. And Hari Krishna Chandravali, welcome. Hari Bolo. So we're gonna go on text 195, beginning today. And Madhu Mangopu, you have your hand up. You're quite welcome to read.
Please, thank you.
Just
Very happy.
reading the translations here. Okay, go ahead. 9195. You can see.
Can I read? Yeah. Bhajanananda samyepi vedaka veda kaschit prakalpyate bahyantarina bhavena durapurvashtadina. Although everyone equally enjoying the bliss of worshipping the Lord, certain differences are conceived. Devotees are considered relatively outsiders or insiders, depending, for example, on whether they serve the Lord from afar or from nearby. Commentary. In the opinion of Commentary. In the opinion of some Vaishnavas, different qualities of devotional service earn their performer different degrees of perfection. Otherwise, in Vaikuntha, there would be no meaningful distinction between the Lord's eternal servants and newly liberated devotees. In this verse, Narada agreed that although all devotees enjoy the ecstasy of worshipping Lord Narayana, there are minor differences in what various devotees achieve in Vaikuntha. Some devotees seems to be more intimate relationship with Lord Narayana than do others. And when the Lord descends to the earth and other material planets, select devotees are privileged to accompany him. The truth is that there are no real differences in devotional achievement, only different individual services. If some Vaishnavas insist on the idea of different degrees of perfection, that idea may be granted, but the differences are insignificant.
Okay, thank you. Welcome over Sahachari. Hare Krishna. Good to have you with us again. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So I just wanted to point out something that my spiritual masters mentioned before, which seems to have come from here. Like, for example, if someone has a general, not a specific, but they have a general, they've established a general relationship with Krishna to some degree at bhava, but they haven't developed the full sense of rasa in regards to a particular intimate service to Krishna. Then they will go back to Godhead, but they're, as described here, their specific position and their specific relationship with Krishna will be not the same, might not be so intimate. Like there's one book, what's that? Raja Vilasa Stava. It's by Raja Vilasa Stava. I think it's forget, Sanatana Goswami or Rupa Goswami. But there he speaks about Raja, and he speaks about all the different residents of Raja. And some of them are very close in proximity to Radha, or very close in proximity to Krishna. But others are not. Others may only see Krishna from a distance or see Radha. They're situated in a Pacific service, which means that they won't come. They all have love and affection for Radha and Krishna, but not all of them may have the same service as Radharani's manjaris, for example. You get the picture? So some may go back to Godhead, but where they go will very much depend on their specific sadhana and meditation that they performed. Right? So if I've understood that correctly. Any questions on that?
So can I say something quick? So it's
Yeah.
some like villagers, they live in a village, and
Yeah, that's
Krishna is
it.
living there, and some they are selling some vegetables to
Yeah, you got
devotees,
it.
and they do
Yeah.
like that, and they serve. But some of them they are cooking for the Lord, and some they help them to get dressed and bath.
Yeah. You got it. Some are, for instance, there's some who are looking after the herb garden. Yeah. Some are making oil. Some are making furniture. Yeah. There's carpenters there. Some are making scents. Some are taking care of the flower groves. It's again, as you said, Madamong, it's a village. Some are, everything that goes on in a village community. But they all feel, I guess that we could all say they all feel a sense of intimate connection with Krishna. They're not feeling hard done by. If they're taking care of the herb garden, they're not feeling it's not fair. Why do I have to, why do I be stuck in a garden? Why can't I be with Krishna? They're all full of so much love and affection, and there's no envy there. So they're full of happiness for others who are with Krishna, and they're fully trying to explain something which is inconceivable. But yeah.
But then the ones who are closer to Krishna and Radha, they receive more bhav than the ones, let's say, who are a bit more further. Even if they receive more, the same.
Well, that's where it starts to get a little bit difficult for us to understand, because the further you are away in the line of servitorship, then it's described that the more ecstasy there is. It's not material. It's difficult to conceive.
But once you are connected and you are further, it's like mom takes, like, let's say someone takes the child away, like, let's say my sister has a baby, and I take the baby and hold the baby in my arms, then the baby starts crying because wants to be close to the mom again.
Yeah.
So then it's a bit further, but that's that connection which you lack. You want to be close again.
Yeah. I don't know about that example exactly, but just like when Krishna's taking lunch, we have that wonderful picture. Krishna's taking lunch and he's surrounded by thousands of cowherd boys, and they all feel as if Krishna is personally looking at them. The same as the rasa dance. All the gopis feel that Krishna is personally dancing with them. Yeah, so by Krishna's inconceivable potency, which is beyond the jurisdiction of the potencies of this material world, he can interact, he can make himself fully manifest to all types of devotees in all types of situations, but their physical proximity may be different than other devotees, but they feel completely overwhelmed and content, even if they may play a distant role in the village of Raj, and may not have personal exchanges with Krishna. Personal exchanges as such, but Krishna is personally exchanging with them on the loving platform. Anyway, perhaps we better read on. It's all fantastic to try and comprehend the spiritual world. Yeah.
Don't think about it, just go back.
Yeah, that's a good
Too much, just
that's a good sutra. Don't think about it, just go back. But you have to think about it. That's the point. We should always think about it, the spiritual world.
yeah, but to
I get what you mean, like don't overanalyze.
yeah, that's the word.
Don't overanalyze. Anyway, we're just following the acharyas, they're bringing up this discussion. So we follow it a bit to try and understand it. Hey, we have fun trying to understand.
Why
Hare
did we
Krishna,
left?
Prabhu.
Why did we
Yes.
walk away?
Nitai Mata.
Yeah, I was thinking, Prabhu, is it
Yeah.
not enough that we always think we want to go back? We want to go back. Is that not enough? We have to really understand all this.
That's what I just said. Yeah, that's what
Yeah, but
Well, we have amnesia, Mataji. We have like amnesia. We are hypnotized by the material nature. So you need to remember the map. So how you gonna go back?
no, I don't
No,
think
I don't think so. I don't think so. We have to remember. Is that right, Prabhu?
now let's just answer Nitai Mata's point. Yeah, we want to go back, and as that desire gets stronger, lobha, and as we get purified, we will have intuition and realization of exactly where we're going back.
Yeah.
Our form, our service, etc. That will become revealed. That will become intuitively realized at the stage of bhava, and one will hanker for that. So in the beginning, we want to go back to Godhead, but then as we get purified, and then as we make progress in devotional service, the actual more details will be revealed by the grace of Krishna, and we will hanker for specific thing which was revealed to us. But we're not a prema, so therefore we can't. Yeah, I think I gave the example before. It's like if you're at the theater and you're not allowed in because you don't have a ticket and you're looking for a gap in the door. That's like a bhava. But when when the doors are opened and you're inside, that's like prema. So we should, so we will, we can just to begin with, I just want to go back. I just want to go back. I just want to go back. But then that wanting to go back should be a really intense greed. It becomes like a lobha, a greed, and Krishna reciprocates with that. Oh this is what you're going to come back to.
Yeah.
Right?
What about that pure Vaishnava
Okay,
does not have any desire?
Thank you, Prabhu.
Mother Jambavati, yes,
Yes.
sorry.
Prabhu, that pure Vaishnava shouldn't have any desires and just be happy to satisfy Lord. Wherever Lord sends us, we should be happy and satisfied. Wherever, even to hell or born here again 25 times, whatever situation, we should be happy and satisfied if it satisfies Lord. What about that?
Yeah, I mean, objectively, we find satisfaction in the service of the Lord. But Krishna is going to reveal things to us. He's going to reveal himself to us. He's going to give, ultimately, at higher stages of bhakti, he gives himself and he reveals himself. And when he reveals himself, you actually also realize yourself in relationship to Krishna. And then you hanker for that. Yeah, objectively, we just want to engage in Krishna's service, whether it's a cowherd boy or whatever it may be. That may be an objective desire just to go back and serve Krishna. But the more we progress, then the more Krishna will reveal, and then we will become attracted in a certain way. We become attracted to certain servants of the Lord, and attracted to their particular service. That will become manifest. You understand?
And
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. So it means if we start having
And
this
it-
back
yeah.
again
Sorry,
and we want service or something, then it means we advanced level?
say that again. I think.
Sorry, Prabhu.
Just-
It
just
means
repeat.
if we start having desires back again, yeah, sure, Prabhu. It means we're
Desire
having...
back again. What do you mean, desire back again?
No, start desires, because when we just in the beginning we have desires, when we achieve
Yeah,
certain
general, yeah.
level we have no desires, we're pure Vaishnavas, yeah, and then desires comes back again, it means we're elevated, we higher consciousness, advanced.
Yeah, first of all, we have a general aspiration, and then we have a specific aspiration. First,
Okay,
there's a
thank you.
general aspiration, and then that aspiration becomes very specific, and it becomes specific because Krishna gives himself to his devotee, and he reveals that specific relationship, and you become spontaneously attracted to that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Yes, thanks.
Yeah. If you get, sorry, I'm trying to volley. Yes.
Talk to Jambavati about that. Like in the beginning, I used to say the same thing. Yes, it doesn't matter where I am, as long as I've got that, Krishna Prema, it doesn't matter. But lately I've been thinking that to come back to this material world, even in a higher situation, then you're dealing with others, devotees who are at different levels, different moods, different. So are we that strong to be able to deal with that?
dangerous.
Yeah, it's dangerous, yes. And then because the Kali Yuga is going so much forward, do we really want to be, because mind is like, we've got in the so many stories, even advanced devotees fall. So I just don't trust myself with anything now.
Yeah, don't
I
take
was
any
exactly
chances.
like what you said, Jamavati, exactly like that.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you, Mataji Rugali. Yeah, exactly. You know what is, to be honest, yeah, I find difficult for me to go and to communicate with devotees. I don't want to provoke people to do
Yeah,
apparatus and to do apparatus myself. I'm too old, I'm too fragile. I was okay. But what I do now, you know what is it? I can't say jealous, envy or something. I meditate about Mahaniti Swami. I remember him very often because he is in Radhakunda. And I wish to be blessed like him and to have like him. I almost envy him that he is so pure devoted, that he has such a luxury life. He can afford, he can allow himself to have such an amazing life. I want nothing, just I want life like his. That's it. That's I have nothing. Just sit there, meditate about Radha Krishna, about service, about whatever, pure environment. I'm sorry, I'm just fallen soul.
It feels very sad. It feels very sad to know what other devotees they kind of enjoy in a way. Not enjoy, but like they can serve so nicely.
No, we
Yeah.
shouldn't say, Prabhu, is that okay for us to feel sad? No, we should be always happy when other devotees are serving.
Yeah, I've lost a friend.
Happy, but in the same time sad, looking to myself that I am kind of not capable, but
Yes,
I'm
yes, exactly,
so
exactly.
far
No,
away.
we're not
I'm
sad.
so
No, we're
far
not
away.
sad. Yeah, we're not sad. But you know, like watching your inmate leaving to freedom. You know, he's leaving, and you are still here. It's the same. You're happy for him, but you see that luck is not for you. You know, it's miles away for you to go. But what can you do?
Yeah, that's a good description. Like
Correct,
you are in
like-
prison,
Yeah.
and you see your inmates leave, and you're still in prison. There's I remember one godbrother of mine. He said when the spiritual master goes back, when he leaves this world, then you hanker so much to actually be with him.
Mm,
You know, he has left the mortal
yeah.
realm and entered the spiritual realm. So that leaves you here. So that sense, that divine sense of separation becomes stronger, and you want to be
Mm.
in the spiritual realm. Yeah. All right.
Mm.
I was reading the
Good start.
Yeah.
there, and Radharani said to one of the manjaris, "Why aren't these girls who just sitting here chit-chatting? Why don't they go and milk the cows and things like that?" And I was just thinking, I'd love that, milking cows, doing the patties. Just to think of going from Yavat to Nandagan, all these girls chitty-chatting, going to cook for Krishna. It'd be so much fun.
It definitely would be fun. That's putting it lightly.
To be,
Yeah.
And, to be back home, the mood, there's no envy, jealousy, pride, ego, lust, whatever. There is nothing there. So you associating so nicely with it. Doesn't matter
My internet not
God,
good.
whatever.
Yeah. So that's the that's what we're preparing ourselves for in our lifetime of the execution of devotional service, chanting Hare Krishna, doing service to Krishna. Yeah, we are. Yeah, that's what we're preparing for. We can only pray. We may not make it. Hopefully we'll make it one life, and if not, next life, or if not, at some point in the future.
We will make it. Not this life, next time, whatever, but we will make it. We just have to
Yeah.
have the determination that that's
Yeah.
what we want, Krishna.
Yeah.
Nothing else, that's what I want.
We have to bless each other,
And the
and
faith.
come back.
And the
Because
faith.
the devotee blesses it, so it has to come true. So that's why we have to bless. We have to keep blessing each other.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
the
but
blessings will
that
come
way,
back.
Kambawati, what we have to do is we have to try and serve each other. Don't ask for anything, but just find any ways you can serve devotees. Any little ways,
Yes, that's true.
Serve,
Mm.
like say something nice and a message. Anything you can think of that you could serve devotees with.
All right. Nice start to our reading today.
Sorry, yeah.
That's great. Should we read the next text as well? Let's perhaps someone else could read. It seems like it's lots coming up.
I can. Which
Go
one?
ahead. 196. You can just read the translation.
Yeah.
Krishna.
Okay. Text 196.
Yeah.
Though all these devotees are equal to the Supreme Lord in being external, there is still a natural distinction between the servant and the served. This distinction is eternal and real. Commentary. Sadhana Siddha devotees who have come to Vaikuntha after liberation from the material world are obviously inferior to the infallible Supreme Lord. No one should doubt that they are subordinate to him. But why should the Lord's eternal associates like Sri Shesha and Garuda be considered subordinate? To remove this doubt, we need to understand that just as the sameness of the Lord and the Jivas is eternal, so also is the difference between them. The Supreme Lord is always the served, and the jivas, no matter who they are always his servants. This is the basic fact, and no logical maneuvers will ever be able to refute it.
Wow, couldn't quite grasp that. Any questions here? The sadness to the devotees of Kanta Vaikuntha after liberation who are obviously inferior. Okay, because they're not Nityasiddha, yet they've achieved perfection through a practice and become perfect. So they're different from the eternally perfect souls. So they are obviously subordinate to the Lord. Okay. But why should this part confuse me? Why should associates like Sri Shesha, Sheshanag, and Garuda be considered subordinates? Okay, I think I'm over-analyzing. I think it's quite straightforward, actually. It means everyone is
I think Balaram.
everyone is subordinate. Everyone is subordinate.
Balaram.
Everyone is subordinate to the Lord. Yeah, everyone wants to be a servant of the Lord, even Lord Balaram, I think, in the time that is. Yeah. There's a chapter in Chaitanya Charitamrita as well about Advaita Acharya who's desiring to be chastised by Lord Chaitanya.
Yeah.
Krishnadas Kaviraj writes nicely about this subject, that all the incarnations, all the expansions, they are all in the sense of subordinate to the Lord, to Krishna. Yeah. He says that's a basic fact. The Supreme Lord is always the served. And the jivas, if they're Nityasiddha or Sadhanasiddha, they're all his servants. Yeah. Sorry, Nitai Mata, I cut you down there. You were speaking and I kept on speaking. All right, no specific question.
No, Prabhu. I said Balaram. That's all.
Okay, yeah, Balaram. Okay, yeah, Balaram. He is servitor Godhead. He is God, but he's servitor Godhead.
Yeah.
Servitor Godhead. Yeah.
Yeah, because the Sri Shesha and Garuda act in the that is why, because Sri Shesha is also
Expansion of Balaram. Yeah.
yeah.
For now. All servants. Okay, let's Mother Sarchari, you'd like to read 197 and 198, the group together. You can just read the translation there.
Yeah. These devotees are equal to the Lord in being embodiments of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. But just like him, yet Sri Krishna has a certain inconceivable mystic potency that attracts these devotees to the sweet ecstasy of worshipping him and makes them always think that they are servants at his lotus feet. Commentary. Krishna's devotees are helplessly attracted to him like iron filings naturally drawn to a magnet. The eternal associates of the Lord had never known another way of life, and the new residents of Vaikuntha, perhaps for several lifetimes, practiced being attracted to him before they were allowed to enter the spiritual world. The attractive force of devotional service to Krishna is inconceivable. It works in its own way without having to be understood or even noticed. Yet somehow immerses pure devotees in the boundless ocean of Krishna's sweetness and draws them irresistibly to his service. Only in this way is the distinction of served and servant maintained forever.
Yeah, okay. I remember this was spoken of previously. I think a verse was quoted by Prahlad Maharaj, who his father, Hiranyakashipu, is questioning why he's so much attached to this Vishnu. And just paraphrasing, Prahlad Maharaj says, but I have no choice. He cannot hold himself back. He's spontaneously attracted to Krishna. Just like a magnet, as being said here. Yeah. Anyone played with magnets before and iron filings? It's great fun. I used to have lots of fun doing that when I was young. Iron filings and magnets. Yeah. So one is drawn. Yeah, it's just like a magnet. One is drawn to there's a force that's pulling one towards loving devotion to a Krishna. And it's as if one has no independence. Yeah. One is just like being attracted to Krishna. We can pray for such this attraction force. There's a Sanskrit word for it, but I forget now. A Shakti could say that, but Shakti comes before Bhava. But there's another stage of pure devotion in which one always feels, perhaps we're getting mixed up. There's a stage where one's always, it's ever fresh. But anyway, Hare Krishna. Hopefully we should start feeling like that towards our chanting. You know, we should feel a irresistible force that cannot stop us from picking up our beads. Yeah. At the moment, we may be chanting because we've made a vow to. I have to chant 16 rounds a day. I promise. I promise I will do that. But then there will come a point where we can't stop, even if we want to. It's just impossible. We just have to put our hand in that bead bag and the chant.
And then it causes you problems, because that means then your reading gets behind, you know.
Whatever you have to, whatever it's, because reading is Shravanam Kirtanam.
I know, but
whatever you're doing.
then you say, just one more round, two more round. Oh, it's so nice. It's comfortable.
Yeah, see, that's.
I didn't do my reading, or I got a little.
Yeah. So that's a good problem to have, but that's indicative of what's going on the perfect stage, but in a much more forceful way. Yeah, we're feeling that.
But I don't know.
Sorry?
Here now, it's a bit deeper. Anyway, later on.
Oh, you can, as you like.
It's like air. It's like air for me. If you take the japa bead, you took my air away.
Yeah, so that's good. So this is what's being described here. One is feels like a magnet drawn to Krishna. I mean, presently we're kind of wrestling, because at the moment we have that type of that magnetic pull towards the modes of material nature, towards the news of the world, towards the material world. So we're kind of wrestling with the both, where we've got our spontaneous attachments to material enjoyment. And we're trying to, stop that and develop instead a spontaneous attraction to Krishna. Yeah, so that's called sadhana, So we may experience this magnetic attraction to matter, yeah, rather than Krishna. Yeah, but eventually there should be a changeover. That comes from purity. That comes from mercy. That comes from purity. All right. So as Mama Sahachari just read, any further comments on that or questions? Yeah, it works in its own way. It says here, it works in its own way without having to understand, without having to be understood or even noticed. So there's a chapter in the 11th canto, isn't it? Beyond knowledge. So bhakti ultimately, in its pure sense, is beyond the need for detailed Vedic knowledge. It's a natural attraction of the heart towards Krishna. Yeah. All right, we are going to jump in and have a read, because I can't resist it. I feel like a magnetic force is forcing me to read, I hope. All right. And so it is with his incarnations. They are also non-different from Sri Krishna Dev, for they are complete embodiments of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. But although Krishna is considered non-different from his plenary expansion, so simultaneously one, he is also distinct from them. simultaneously one and different. And not only because he is their source, but also because he has his own sweet perfections. Okay, commentary. Sri Krishna, the Lord of Goloka, is acclaimed in the Puranas and other Vedic scriptures as being especially sweet. The sweetness found in him is not fully present in Narayan or any of his other expansions. Of course, Krishna is different from his avatars because he is their source. Yet he is still further different as the supreme, all-attractive object of love. As implied here by the word api, it is only natural that Krishna be the original personality of Godhead, and that all other forms of God emanate from him. But Krishna is special, not only as an avatari, but also as an avatar. He alone is the source of all incarnations of God, and only he displays such wonderful, charming pastimes when he descends to the material world. Okay, yeah, so that we're familiar with, isn't it? Lord Nrsimhadev doesn't perform the same pastimes as Krishna, nor does Lord Ram, nor does Varahadev. Yeah. He alone, Krishna, is the source of all incarnations. Only he displays such wonderful, charming pastimes when he descends to the material world. The Puranas give evidence of those pastimes, recounting many of Sri Krishna's unequal exploits. I just thought of something. I hope don't mind me stopping mid-purport. But do you remember in class the other day, in our morning class, the question was asked about, I think it was Gopa-kumara. The question was asked about, why does young Nimai destroy the house? You remember? Dharma was speaking about young Nimai's exploits, which I think is more described in the Chaitanya Bhagavat, where Nimai actually smashes every item in Mother Yasoda's house. You know.
The Sachi's house.
Yeah, sorry, Mother Sachi's house. Yeah. So he's quite a boisterous, frivolous young man or young boy. So we could say one answer to that could be that that's evidence of his being non-different from Krishna. Yeah. Like Lord Ram was very well baka behaved as a young boy, you know. He would never do anything like that. But Krishna, he's completely the supreme enjoyer, he's completely independent, and he would do all types of mischievous things, isn't it? Sometimes he would he would pass stall in urine in the neighbors' houses, or he'd pinch the babies and make them cry, and do all types of mischievous things, and lie like anything, lie to the back of his teeth, you know, to get yogurt, to get, you know, whatever. So the same with Nimai. So you could say that's a indication of his being the supreme avatari. Yeah, he being Krishna himself. He's not an expansion. He is actually Krishna. Yeah, coming in a mood of Radharani. So you could say you could answer it like that, perhaps, isn't it? Just reading this. So I continue. Does that sound okay? That philosophical speculation? Okay. The jivas allowed to associate with Lord Krishna in his abode, are surely aware that he, the supreme controller of all existence, is much greater than they. Okay. Not that he's God, okay? It's not that he's God. It's another way it describes it. What most impresses Krishna's devotees, however, is his infinitely variegated sweetness. By seeing his beauty and other glories, they are constantly assured that he is different from everyone else. Only by this deep appreciation of Krishna's supremacy but supremacy in sweetness. Yeah. Can his most fortunate devotees sustain their exalted love for him and share intimate exchanges with him in the ecstatic taste of transcendental rasa? Okay. Any insights or questions about that? So that's their attraction. They're attracted to this unprecedented sweetness. Yeah. And the whole village is attracted to him. Yeah. As we know that the parents, they have more affection of all the cowherd boys and cowherd, they have more affection to Krishna even than to their own children. Yeah. All right. Let's read text 200. Sounds like a significant number, 200. Perhaps we'll go back through the reading line again. So unless anyone different wants to read. Mother Lavangalataka, are you in a position to read? You're normally a reader. Or Anupama? Perhaps it might not be possible. So we'll go back to Madhumango or Puru. You can read text 200.
I'm here, ready. Some persons say that Lord Krishna is the exclusive embodiment of perfect and eternity, knowledge and bliss. He is, after all, the supreme Brahman, but his associates are all liberated souls who are all embodiments of Brahman. Commentary. Some may propose that only Krishna is absolute because he is the supreme Brahman. Strictly speaking, this is true, but the absolute person, Krishna, also includes all his energies, so his pure devotees should certainly be recognized to be on the same absolute platform of spiritual perfection. The Lord's servants, including Ananta Shesha, Garuda, and others in Vaikuntha, are Brahman, Mayaha. One with him is in quality. Gyanis and yogis may become mukta, elevated to the impersonal oneness, which the supreme, but the devotees of Narayana are vimukta, super liberated, because they participate in the personal oneness of bhakti.
Okay. So one in quality, but not in, what's the next word?
Quantity.
Quantity, yeah, like a drop of the ocean. So yeah, they're all on the spiritual. There's a verse in Bhagavad Gita as well. It describes about that. Forget it now, but Brahmapananam, become converted into Brahman. Someone's absorbed in Krishna consciousness. Everything they do, their whole life becomes spiritualized. It means it becomes as Brahman. Yeah, and therefore they enter into Brahman. It does, as we like that, they enter into the spiritual realm. Yeah. All right. So who read in line last time after Madhumango? Who was the reader? Forgot. Sahachari. Oh, Madhumango has the hand up. Go ahead, Madhumango. 201. Then we. Oh, perhaps if you're speaking, you're muted. Okay, let's go to Mother Sahachari. She has the hand up.
Okay, yes.
Go ahead. 201.
201. Okay. The equality is created by a special potency of the Lord, a playful aspect of his pure spiritual self. As Krishna assumes various forms for his pastimes, she creates varieties of ecstasy in devotional service. Commentary. How do the Lord's devotees share his supremacy? By the power of bhakti. Bhakti, the worship of Supreme Personality, with love gives a special ecstatic mellow taste, and by the influence of bhakti, the personality of Godhead displays special forms for particular pastime still. pastime. Still, persons who regard Krishna as the supreme Brahman and yet are unclear about the position of his associates may have a question. Since the devotees who join in the Lord's pastimes have already attained liberation, oneness with Brahman, why should such devotees descend again into duality by assuming different bodies for those pastimes? The answer has already been given. By even asking such question, one acknowledges the distinction between served and servant. Still, one might counter that since the liberated impersonalists and the devotees of the personality of Godhead are both in the same liberated condition, that of Sachidananda, nothing else and nothing more, the devotees of the personality of Godhead must enjoy no more happiness than liberated impersonalists. But this has also been previously answered, as the most confidential Vedic scriptures told Gopa-kumara on Brahmaloka. The happiness that arises from directly perceiving the true identity of the Jiva soul, the entity composed of eternity, knowledge, page has to,
Yeah, it's
and
loading
bliss.
a bit slow, yeah. Cool.
Knowledge and bliss is actually very meager. Brhat Bhagavatamrta 2.2.176. The happiness of mere self-realization is limited, unlike the unimaginable happiness found in true liberation, in which one realizes one's loving relationship with the Supreme. Thus, everything Narada has said stands unrefuted.
Well, you really have to pay attention here, isn't it? For a few seconds, I was thinking of something else and I lost the track of what Mother Sachari is reading. Yeah, there's lots here packed. There's lots packed in here. But any particular comments or questions?
I got lost.
Two of a few. Still persons who regard Krishna as Supreme Brahman are yet.
It's talking about duality, why the personalities are coming back again. The question is being asked. They're already liberated. So why are they coming back again and serving the Lord? Because it is the servant and the served. That's what I picked up there.
Yeah, okay. So that's their constitutional position, yeah?
Yeah.
Why would such devotees descend again into duality by assuming different bodies? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Hare Krishna. All right. Number 202. Any volunteers? Go ahead, Mother Mongol, 202.
Yep. Okay. Sri Gopa-kumara said, I then asked, my Lord, divine deity, form of the Supreme Godhead, like Lord Purushottama, the master of Niladri, are present on earth, and you consider the embodiment of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. The devotional process of deity worship has enjoyed the benefits of arcana and Jagannatha-puri and on several high planets in the universe. He has also heard about the glories of this process from various authoritative scriptures. Narada, however, has created a doubt in Gopa-kumara by telling him that the deity of the Supreme Lord are just another kind of incarnation, indistinguishable from other avataras. Early in this chapter, text 155 and 157, Narada said, Ye kautuk cha cha patimas tarupata tasachittananda gana hi sarve nanatva bajopi sadaika rupaha. There are those who playfully assume the appearance of the deities. Each of this form of the Lord has its own activities and names, yet all of them are full in eternity, knowledge, and bliss. Though manifesting variety, in substance they are eternally one and the same.
Yeah, here on after, because I was reading forward a few weeks ago, and here on after, there's a great disposition, and there's going to be an explanation of the deity and deity worship. So this is just introducing the subject. So it'll be quite interesting.
Wow.
I think it's said, I've never seen the quote, but I've heard it, that Prabhupada said about London Ishvara, if anyone can correct me if it was London Ishvara, that he's pretending to be a deity. But actually, he, as described here, he is actually the Lord himself, full of eternity, the Archa Vigraha, full of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. Yeah.
That's why he's so merciful. He said, that's why he's so merciful. He's the single deity, I think, in the whole planet. Which
Yeah,
is
but
so
here
merciful.
it's, yeah, but this is the, yeah, what you're saying is right. Though manifesting in variety, Landanishra, Gokulananda, Radha Shyama-Sundara, Radha Madhava. So they manifest in variety, but in substance, they are eternally one and the same. So as we become devoted to one particular Lord, we're into this specific variety that we have in London. And others will be into the variety that I have at Bhaktivedanta Mana, which manifests as Radha Gokulananda. But in substance, they're all eternally one and the same. Yeah. Just take, yeah. All right. Okay. I read this one quickly. The one personality of Godhead, whose body is always Satchit Ananda, mercifully enacts the pastimes of being present in various places in various forms. Okay. Commentary. To increase his own pleasure and show kindness to his devotees and to the whole world, Lord Krishna appears in Puri and other places such as and other deities like Lord Jagannath. His deity forms appear not only on earth, but also on other planets of Loka and in the higher and lower planetary systems. All right, so deity worship's going on all over the place. Yeah, on other planets, Loka, and even on the lower planetary systems. I don't think deity worship goes on in the hellish planets.
But what about, can I stop quick, jump? Because it says in the Shastra, even Lord, if you send me to hell, don't make me forget your holy name. So even devotees, if are sent in hell, then they maybe still worship the deities and chant the holy name.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen any descriptions in the fifth canto of deities being in the hellish planets, but ultimately, yeah, in the Swaga, yeah, that's the first glorification of King Chitraketu to Parvati. Narayana Parasave and Krishna Bipati Swaga Bhavakana Keshu Apitu Asha Datanaha. The devotees of the Lord are so glorious that wherever they are, whether they're in hell or wherever they are, they're just absorbed in devotional service to the Lord. They don't care where they go. So that's definitely a point. But for sure, I haven't heard of any deities in the hellish planets, at least not in the deity worship ministry. We haven't heard of any installations going on down there. Any bona fide installations going on in, what's one of the name of the hellish planets? Krimi Bolger. Krimi Bolger is where it's a big lake of worms and they're all eating each other and people take birth. I'm pretty sure there's no deity worship going on down there.
But what about if someone is in prison or is in a very bad place? I don't know. Is that not considered hellish, being in a hellishly planet?
Yeah, Bhagavatam says that it's seen that there are hellish sufferings in on this planet. Yeah. People go through hellish sufferings of that which is in the hellish worlds. So for that, you don't have to look far. Just look in the history books of the atrocities that mankind has inflicted upon mankind. You know, it's definitely hellish. Yeah, every type of possible torture, of inconceivable every type of unpleasant thing is going on, which is to be found in the hellish planets. Yeah. Okay. Let's read another verse quick before our precious time runs out. It's 7 o'clock, but let's read another verse. Mother Chandravali, could you read 204? You might pause there.
I think my
Oh, your
mic is fixed. Yeah.
Yeah.
My
Go ahead.
microphone wasn't working. I changed the settings and it's working now.
Great, go ahead. So read 204.
204.
Yeah.
Thank you. What then could be wrong with worshipping those forms, disregarding everything else? I would think that no matter how this was done, it would bring great benefit. Commentary. Why should the Lord's devotee be criticized for neglecting other spiritual disciplines, dharma, karma, yoga, and so on, to worship the Lord's Archavigraha? It seems logical that he should gain greatly by such dedication, since all the other devotional practices are included in the worship of the deity.
Nice. So all devotional practice, including deity worship. Yeah, this is going to be a great exposition on deity worship. Perhaps you can, it's just gone 7. Perhaps you could read this verse as this 205, and then we'll pause there.
205. But why, therefore, do we hear differing opinions about this from the Puranas? The Puranic statements, coming as they do from the mouths of exalted souls, cannot be less than authoritative. Commentary. Srimad Bhagavatam and other Puranas make comments that apparently deprecate the value of deity worship. For example,
Long purple. We'll be here a few minutes over 7. Carry on. Move.
For example, a devotee who faithfully engages in worshipping the deity in the temple, but does not behave properly toward other devotees or people in general, is called a prakrita bhakta, a materialistic devotee, and is considered to be in the lowest position. Bhagavatam 11:247. One who worships the deity of Godhead in the temples, but does not know that the Supreme Lord as Paramatma is situated in every living entity's heart, must be in ignorance, and is compared to one who offers oblations into ashes. Bhagavatam 3:29-22.
Yeah.
My dear mother, even if a person worships me with proper rituals and paraphernalia, if he is ignorant of my presence in all living entities, he never pleases me by the worship of my deities in the temple. Bhagavatam 3:29-24.
It's gone 7, but it could say a lot about that. So we should be careful if we're not interacting with the Vaishnavas properly. Then, according to these verses,
Can we discuss this next week?
Yeah. Okay. Let's let's not rush for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. I'm very excited about this. A lot of us got pujaris, have done pujari service, and we're attached to Deities, so we're going to be hearing about that. Okay. Yeah. So thank you, everyone. A wonderful discussion. Definitely, I feel uplifted and a little bit free from the modes before I started. So thank you. And so tomorrow, I don't know we're doing this attentive and inattentive thing. So some of you might be coming to that.
I did send it.
Tomorrow, what time?
6 to 7:30.
Do I need to register anywhere or something?
Yeah. You don't. Yeah, and it's automatically done. I shall send you the link. Mother Mongo. Because if you could come, you can join a little bit early, and then you could be letting people in.
Thank you. Sure.
Okay, let's pause there for today.
So please, has everybody booked it?
Sorry?
No, thanks for letting me know. Yeah, I'll book it.
I sent it on the group, so can
yeah,
you
if you want to.
Okay.
And it's so easy. I mean, even my silly head can do it. Click and, and you say, okay,